I'm not selling just the product, I'm selling a hope. I started in my kitchen with my kids. We had to put buckets everywhere because it was a very old house. Like right now, I have to be like, wow, I didn't have a plan B. I only had one plan, and it was plan A. I had nothing. It's very hard to be a woman in business. You have no idea how many meetings we have where everybody's looking at my husband, but they don't even acknowledge me.
Take your power back, let them do that, and own your game.
I remember I would send letters to my friends, and I would be like, I have a house, and I have a pool, and I have a jacuzzi, and I have nice cars. I wasn't really lying. I was manifesting.
What if the recipe that saved dinner could also save your future? My guest today built a brand from nothing more than a mother's determination, a stack of bills, and a cooler full of fresh salsa. While plenty of people talk about turning adversity into opportunity, she cooked her way through it, batch by batch, farmer's market by farmer's market, until just making ends meet became a fast-growing gourmet salsa company on shelves online and in homes across the country. She's the founder of Salsa Queen, a brand born in her kitchen that now stands for handcrafted, authentic, boldly flavored salsas and dips, and the power of a woman who refused to let circumstances dictate her summit. Her story is about resilience, cultural pride, feeding kids, and scaling a dream with grit instead of venture capital. Today, we're going to explore how you alchemize necessity into brand, how you protect soul and quality while you scale, and how you keep believing when the numbers, the nights, and the noise all says quiet. Salsa Queen, welcome to Seek Your Summit.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God, I love it.
Another mama.
Another mama. Okay, friends, like we just found out before the show started, we both are mothers to 7 children. So we can feel each other's pain and joy and all the things that 7 brings.
I know, amazing.
Yes, it is
Love
amazing.
it.
Amazing. Okay, so let's get back. What was the real, I have to try something, anything moment that pushed you to sell your first container of salsa?
Well, unfortunately, I went through my second divorce.
Okay.
And when I came to the United States, I wasn't able to finish high school.
Oh, wow.
So because of that, I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go work at Walmart or Smith's or McDonald's? I'm like, there's no way I can support a whole family like that. So at that time, I had met Jim, and I have always loved to cook. Since I was 8 years old, I was in the kitchen cooking away, and it just became a passion. So he knew that I love cooking, and he said, why don't we start a business?
Okay.
With food. But his vision was gelato and pastry, European pastries. And I tried it for a while, but I was like, no, I want something that speaks my culture, my language, something that I'm passionate about, something that I believe in it. Let's make salsa.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes. So that's how Salsa Queen started. You know, I was living out of Medicaid, food stamps, church help, food bank. Wow. And even though I'm so grateful for all of that, it wasn't a way of living that I wanted to show my kids that it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard.
It is hard. And, you know, I'm very grateful for the help, but every time I went to the store and I paid for that, I was like, I didn't come here for this. I know I can do better. So when the opportunity presented, I grabbed it and I ran with it.
Wow. Wow. I can't even imagine having the courage to start a business when you already have so much going against you.
Well, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, there's a beauty to that, right?
I had no idea what I was getting myself into, so.
Yeah, but you didn't just sell a product. You stepped into the persona of Salsa Queen. How did adopting that identity unlock a previous self that you didn't have access to before?
Well, I had no idea that I was creating a persona.
Okay.
I had no idea. I was just trying to sell my salsas. But I know I'm very loud. And people gravitated to that, you know, to the story.
To the story.
To the dream, to the American dream, that it was like, oh my gosh, she has 7 kids. She came to America. Her accent is so strong. She's a blonde Mexican, right? It's like, what is she doing? And, you know, I didn't know that I was creating a persona. And I started going to Channel 2,
Okay.
you know, Fresh Living. I was doing that for 4 years. And I think because of that, I was creating me.
Yeah.
You know, but I had no idea what I was doing. So with the brand, I became the brand.
You did become the brand.
became
Like,
the
yes,
brand.
100%. You even changed your name to Salsa Queen
I did,
to fill that
I
in.
did. So, you know, everywhere I went in the past, I would wear my crown.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, it was my crown. Salsa Queen is here. And here we are.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So how did you decide what parts of your cultural authenticity that you were like keeping no matter what, but still appeal to that wider market?
Some of my salsas are very traditional, like
Okay.
the tomatillo, the red chili. So I wanted to keep with some of the culture still very strong, you know, even with that logo, it's a sugar skull, Day of the Dead, you know, and that kind of has been the case of a lot of Latinos that they come to America, that they stay with their market, you know, and I honestly don't know how I crossed that line.
Okay.
I cannot even tell you how that happened. I guess as soon as I moved to America, I wanted to adapt myself to the culture.
Yeah.
Since I was little, it was my dream to be in America. And so as soon as I came here, I felt part of it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and so it was easy for me to adapt to the culture and still bring my culture into it, which was the brand, the name. You know, Salsa Queen, actually, that's a funny story that we can get into that. And the product, definitely, the spiciness, you know, all of that. And one thing that I was not willing to compromise was my product, premium. When we cook in Mexico, we cook from scratch.
Yeah.
We don't open cans, you know?
Yep.
And so a lot of my salsas carry that,
Okay.
the freshness, you know? And so to me, it's just very important, the quality of our product.
Oh, for sure. Now, like you hinted to Salsa Queen, like tell us how that name came into existence and that's what you decided to brand as.
Okay, that was my husband's at the time, my boyfriend. We were trying to decide what the name was going to be. Okay, now we have the product. What was going to be the brand? So we were playing with my last name, which is very Mexican, Zapata. And one day he was like, hey, what about Salsa Queen? And I was like, that is the cheesiest, stupidest name ever. There's no way that that's going to be the name. And then I went to an event, a networking event, and they said, what should we put you under so we can remember you? And I was like, Salsa Queen. So that stuck, and that was Salsa Queen, that I even changed my name to that, right? So it came from not liking it to
Like embodying it and changing your name to it.
100%.
I love it. I
Yes.
love it. So I climb mountains and my mountain name is Mountain Barbie.
Ah!
And at first I was like, how dare you call me Mountain Barbie? And then I'm like, you know what? I am going to step into that persona and I am Mountain Barbie.
Yes,
and I
you
did
are.
bring a hairdryer to Mount Everest. So it's probably appropriate, right?
100%.
Yes.
If you embrace it, everybody's going to embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And they're like, okay, and it was fun. And then the Barbie movie came out after the fact and there's all different versions of Barbie. So then it felt okay, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, they're
Hiking
stereotypical
Barbie.
hiking Barbie, mountain Barbie, all that stuff. So there you go. It was
love
perfect.
it.
Okay. So starting a business, it is not a downhill climb, right? Like you don't get to roll downhill. You have to constantly make decisions to go and grit it out and make it happen. Do you remember a night where you're like, we're done. I'm pulling the plug. I'm over this.
Many times.
Many times.
Many times. When I started Salsa Queen, I was doing everything by myself.
Of course.
I was making the salsas, I was packaging the salsas, I was selling the salsas, I was promoting, I was doing it all with the help of my kids. You know, since they were 2 years old to 12 years old, they were in the kitchen chopping tomatoes, cutting onions. If the friends would come, I will make them work too. I'm like, come on, guys, chop, chop. So it became a family affair.
I mean, when I started climbing mountains, I'm like, okay, well, we're going on a hike today, guys, or you have a soccer game and I'm going to be on the sideline doing step-ups while I watch your game because I need to get in shape to be able to do this. But yeah, I think when we set these big goals, it becomes a community event. Like everybody on your team is like, if you want to hang out with me, we're not going to dinner. We're going to go for a hike.
We're going to work. And, there were many times through this journey, even up to now, that I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I know.
I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this. And then people send you a little DM.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my gosh, my kid will not eat vegetables, but they eat your pico de gallo, and it's like, oh my gosh, or like, oh my gosh, I got this invitation from a girl, a follower on social media, a fan, a Salsa Queen fan, and she sent me a wedding invitation.
Oh, how
and
cute.
she was like, you have been part of my life through thick and thin, and your salsas are always there to make me happier. It was just so beautiful. So believe it or not, is my fans, is my customers, is the people that love my product and they love me, that I want to continue, because like I said, I'm not selling just a product. I'm selling a hope. I'm selling a dream. So every time you grab the salsa, you're buying a dream, And so I just love that aspect. But yeah, I mean, every morning when I wake up, I'm like, what am I doing? But...
Yeah, so anybody that's watching, that's building a business right now, even if you have success, you're still, what? Like, why? Because it does feel like whack-a-mole at times, where you're just like, this problem pops up or that pops up or whatever. And it is truly the fans that send you the message. It says like, I went for a hike today, or I did this today because of what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for all of us. We got it.
Yeah. So it's you guys. I'm doing it for you.
Yes. Yes. Okay. How did you protect the integrity and freshness when going from small batches to larger distribution? And while we're applying this to salsa, this applies to like a brand, right? As you get bigger, what do you think people do to keep the integrity of that brand and quality intact?
It has stayed from the beginning to now.
I know. And how have you done that?
I will not compromise that.
Okay.
That's something that I know that a lot of businesses, restaurants, I mean, anybody in the food industry, the more you grow, the more you want to cut corners, because it's important. You have to. But that's something that I will never do.
Okay.
I will not compromise my product so I can make more money.
Yeah.
And that's something that I can very honestly say, that you are buying the same product that you bought when I was making it.
Wow. That's a really cool thing to be able to hang your hat on.
100%.
Just always being like, profit's secondary. This
100%.
product, this vision, this feeling that I want you to have, that's what's driving everything. So I'm going to keep that authentic, and the rest will just happen the way it is. And that's probably the beauty of not having venture capital involved, because they're not putting pressure on, oh, let's buy this ingredient here or that there because that cuts costs. Well, that also cuts the entire experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah. Okay. What was the first time that you sat with yourself and said, wow, I have a company now. I'm not just a salsa, like I'm not slinging this at farmers markets. Like, this is a real company.
It is hard to realize that, because every day is a fight.
Yeah.
With something like you said, like guacamole, So it's so hard. And that's something that I need to learn to do, to stop and look what I have done, what I have created, all the all the opportunities that I have created, not just for me, but for my family, my kids that they work with us, other employees that they work with us, my team. I owe them, them to have a job, and I remember one time, well, it is a company. I guess sometimes when people come to our facility, I think they look at me differently.
Okay.
They're like, you've created this, and that's kind of when that's when it sinks. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I started in my kitchen with my kids, that when it rained outside, it rained inside. We had to put buckets everywhere because, it was a very old house. And I have come very far, very, very far. And sometimes, like right now, I have to be like, wow. And you know what? This is a funny story. So growing up in Mexico, I always had a dream of being successful on something and having money. Money is very important. Like I consider money very important in life. It's not a priority, but it's important.
No, definitely.
So anyway, I remember that I would send letters to my friends, and I would be like, I have a house. And I was sharing this to a friend of mine. I have a house, and I have a pool, and I have a jacuzzi, and I have nice cars, and I have somebody that cleans my house. And she said, stop. She said, look around. That's what you have now. And I was like, I wasn't really lying. I was manifesting. Because that's what my heart wanted. That's what my heart felt. And so I will make up these stories, but I was really manifesting
you're bringing them
what
to life.
I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. And before we started this interview, we talked about how I had a dream last night that I had a closet for purses. So I'm going to manifest that and see what happens in the future. A closet for purses.
Yes.
Every girl's dream. There we go. Oh, goodness. How do you hire for heart? And what signals you to tell someone like they'll honor your brand story and do a good job? Like, how do you know who to hire?
I am very gut intuitive.
Yep.
Like, I know. Like, I know in my heart when something feels good. It has been very hard for me to learn to listen to my gut. And I have made so many mistakes because my heart wants something, my head wants something else, but my gut is telling me something else. So I think I go with my gut. I have to feel good about who we're going to hire. Like, we're just been hiring right now. And I told my husband, you take care of that. Like, that's something that you need to take care of. He said, no. So it has gone to the point where he trusts me so much that he needs me to be there, even though I might not understand some things, but he understands and believes that I will make the right decision.
Yeah.
Because I feel it.
Yeah.
And all of us have that.
All of us have that.
We just don't listen.
We don't always listen.
We choose not to listen and to go with whatever we think instead of what.
Yeah. No, I remember hiring help at the house. You have 7 kids, you need help, right? And you have a lot of people that apply, and some of them graduated from college and child development and all these different things. And then I had this one girl, and I'm like, that didn't quite have the pedigree that everybody else had. I'm like, I think she's it. And they're like, well, how? I'm like, I don't know. I feel it. Yeah. And I ended up hiring off a feeling. Best decision I've ever made. And once you have one of those success stories, it's so much easier to rely on that in the future.
100%.
Right? You're like, I did this right before. I'm going to do this again.
And then you continue on doing it.
Yes.
You know. So make sure to listen to your inner, not your heart, not your mind, but your inner.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a female founder of this business, was there anything that you had to let go of or anything you had to unlearn that allowed you to have the success you have right now?
100%. I'm very controlling.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Right. It's your brand. It's your name. It's your thing.
Yeah, very controlling. So be able to trust people that they can do what I do. Like I had a house full of kids. So it was like, this has to be done. So I had to learn to not be micromanaging people and to trust them, but to also train them well. So then they can,
Step into the role.
Step into the role. And that was really hard. And it's something that it continued to be hard for me, and that I still have to keep reminding myself, like, trust them. Trust them, you know. And we all make mistakes. Oh my gosh, they have made so many mistakes. But, you know, I was talking to my daughter this morning, and we have to allow people to make mistakes, because that's how we learn.
Yeah.
By making mistakes. If we don't make mistakes, then we don't learn.
Right.
So it's just, you know.
No, I think part of our success is our capacity to hold the mess. Right? Like, so you can be successful, but that means like you're going to have more mistakes that you got to be able to metabolize and synthesize and be like, this is happening. At my house, I have 7 children. That means we're going to have 2 milks spilled a night at dinner, right? Like at another house, you might have a milk spilled once a week. Yeah. I'm going to have, it's daily. Like I don't know what meal it's going to happen, but it's happening. It's probably happening twice. Yes. And you just have to understand, like, that's part of running a big family. That's part of building a big business.
It is. It is. And it's hard because.
It is hard.
It is so hard because, and then you become this woman that people still don't respect.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to be a woman in business. I mean, you have no idea how many meetings we have where everybody's looking at my husband, but they don't even acknowledge me. Wow. But you know what?
Right,
it's
they're lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who I am, and I know my place, and you know, life goes on. And so, but you have to learn, you have to relearn a lot of things. And you have to be able to mold yourself and to be flexible to changes every day. It's not just, oh, I learned this is it, you know. No, it's every day. But that's what's fun about having a business. Every day is different.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't go and do the same thing. It's always a new challenge.
No, I love that. And I think it's really important for you to say this piece. I'm going to highlight it again, where you're in the meeting and they're talking to your husband. There's a lot of ways you can interpret that experience, right? You can get bitter about it. You can get angry. It's like, well, I'm less. But when you have that confidence, you're like, go ahead, talk to him, pretend that's the deal.
I
I'm
want to
good.
make a decision, so it's okay.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so for anybody that's feeling that, hey, I'm being judged or it's against me or boo, stop. Give yourself permission to pause and be like, take your power back. Let them do that and own your game.
100%.
Yeah.
100. But it is hard, you know. Like I was on a phone call the other day, and the person that I was talking about was being a little bit sassy, and I can be sassy back. So I was a little bit sassy back, and right away he was like, okay, this is getting too emotional. We'll have this conversation with Jim. And I was like, it's so interesting how they can be sassy, but the moment the woman gets sassy, then it's emotional and it's this. Yeah, let's not talk to her. Let's take it over here. And it's just like, you just still have to take a big deep breath and be like, I know who I am, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So give yourself permission to, and allow people to treat you differently. But as long as you know who you are and where you stand, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I agree with that. How do you decide when to say no?
Oh, that's a very easy one for me.
Okay.
It was very hard for me at the beginning. I wanted to please everybody. I wanted to say yes to everybody. But, you know, you have to learn very fast to say no. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I have a problem saying no.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
so.
Do you have like any filter or whatever? You just like, they answer the question and you're either a yes or no and make it right there?
I'm very easy.
Yeah.
I'm very easy like that.
Yep.
I can say no and I can say yes very easy. But that's something that I had to learn.
I think all of us have to learn. Right.
It didn't just happen.
It takes practice.
A lot of practice. And, you know, and you might feel guilty for a minute, but.
Yeah. What I've found is I need to be around a solid yes first. So if I know I'm going into a day that has a ton of decisions that are going to happen, in the morning, I make sure that I'm like I went out to breakfast this morning with a very good friend of mine that gave me this energy of like, yeah, this is going to be a great day. So then when something doesn't feel at that vibration, it's a no for me. So first of all, you have to get yourself into that space of what does a yes feel like? And once you can hold that, it's a lot easier to distinguish what a no is. And I'm a quick decider.
Like, yes.
People say they go shopping, I go buying.
Yes.
Like, I'm either buying it or I'm out the door. I'm not a shopper.
Yeah. 100%. But that's something that you learn through the journey. So whoever is looking to be a business owner or something, don't be hard on yourself. Like, everything that you and I have done, we have learned it.
Yes,
It wasn't just like, oh, it's so easy.
No.
It's not easy.
Right.
Every day is a challenge. And the bigger you get, the bigger the decisions you have to make. And it's so hard.
Yes, it is.
This month, I have had to make some decisions that have crushed me, that I have cried, that I have struggled. But I had to make a decision.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the easiest decision. So the bigger you get, the bigger the decisions become. And you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to learn to listen with your
intuition, your inner.
Your inner. Your gutty.
Your gutty. Your gutty. We got all kinds of names going for it today. Yeah, and for me, when I have to make those really hard decisions, those are like when we look at our days, they can be very up and down, right? But if I look further down the road, that's where it allows me to deal with the bumps today, because that further down the road gives me an upward trajectory.
Yeah.
Okay, so if one woman listening today is standing where you stood, bills due, ideas unproven, what is the very first step you would want her to take in the next 24 hours?
In the next 24 hours, oh my goodness. A lot of people ask me, and I have even asked myself that question.
Okay.
Why me?
Yeah.
Why me? And sometimes I'm cleaning the house and I say, why me? Well, I didn't have a plan B.
Right. I kind of feel the same.
I only had one plan.
Yep.
And it was plan A. I wasn't like, well, if this doesn't work out, I go back to accounting or I go back to nursing. I had nothing. So, stick with plan A, pretend that there's no plan B, and go for it.
Yep.
Because if you start thinking, well, if this doesn't work, then
you put it into the field, right? And that's not going to help.
Sometimes you just have to put all the eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And this was the case. So, there's times in life where you can put different eggs in different baskets. But when you have something in mind and you have a goal, you have to put all those eggs in that one basket.
Yeah. When you're in the beginning, you have one choice, one focus, one mission, one purpose. Once it starts growing legs, then you can start having choice. But at this time, your choice is do or die.
Make it.
Yeah. So, do immigrants appreciate America more than people born here?
Ooh. Oh. Damn if I say yes, damn if I say no. I'll say yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll say yes because we don't have the same opportunities that we have over there. For example, if I would have been poor in Mexico, we would have died. But here, you have all the help in the world. And I appreciate it so much more than a person probably that is here because I know where I come from and I know the difference. So when you see a difference, then it's easier to appreciate something more.
Yeah, 100%. Do immigrants have stronger family values than Americans?
Oh!
I know, I'm getting in there poking.
I will say yes.
Okay.
Even my husband has said, I don't think I have ever seen a family that is as close as you and your kids.
Oh.
So family in our cultures are very important. Like the only people that my circle is my kids. I hang out with my kids. I share with my kids. I heal with my kids. I eat. Everything is with my kids. So I kind of feel like, yes.
Yeah. I know. I've traveled all over the globe. And I will tell you, like, I love going to Mexico because I love the culture. I love the family ties. I love how deep it is. And I thought it was all, I mean, this is me being naive, but I thought it was all Spanish-speaking cultures. That's not the case. Like, Mexico is unique and special like that, for sure. For sure. Are immigrants hungrier for success than Americans?
I will say that we are more, how would I say this? More naive.
Okay.
So we tend to go for it more because we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. And so, yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we're
fair.
more naive. And like, we're very hardworking people, you know, like, you know, now I don't get into the kitchen because I have people that made the salsas, but I'm not afraid to get down and dirty.
Are kids of immigrants under more pressure to succeed?
Yes, it is more pressure because they're looking up to the parents that they immigrated from another country and they have worked so hard to build a dream. So now they kind of have to follow that along and continue that dream and continue that success. So there is a lot more pressure. She's right now.
Do single moms raise stronger kids than married couples?
That I don't know,
Okay.
but I will have to say yes.
I don't know, but I'm a yes.
in my how do you say, in my experience, I have to say yes, because the mother has to play the role, or the father has to play the role of a mother and a father, so you become a little bit more strong. And I think you put a lot more pressure into your kids because you don't have the other support.
Are mothers who chase dreams neglecting their families?
So we feel, you know, because, for example, when I started Salsa Queen, I had to cut myself in so many pieces, and the kids were home with the older kids, and they had to cook for the kids. So, yes, they do get more neglected, but that's the kids learn, and they adapt very easy, and they understand. And then eventually they see that, and they see that as an example. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, I think you do. You get cut into a million pieces. You're juggling a lot of things, but you're also showing them that hard work works. And look what happens when you put one foot in front of the other. You now have a pool in the backyard and an under a nice roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do successful moms raise spoiled kids?
I feel like it all depends. If you come from nothing and then all of a sudden you start having money, yes. Yes, you do. And because it's kind of a little bit toxic, because you want to make up for the time that you're not there. So you tend to spoil the kids to make up for not being there. So, yes. And it can, you know, it can get a little toxic because it's like the kids know they're smart. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Are men intimidated by women who make more money?
I think men are very, what is the word? Intimidated by a strong woman. They want a strong woman. But when you become too strong, then you're too strong. And they kind of don't like that. So it is hard. It is hard. And I don't think men kind of like that.
Yeah.
You have to be married to a very strong man to be able to handle a strong woman.
Yes. Alpha.
Yes.
Alpha for sure. Do Mexicans have better food culture than Americans?
Yes. 100% yes. And I guess you guys have to agree with me.
I agree.
I mean, you can make with a tortilla, you can make magic. You can make burritos, you can make tacos, you can make enchiladas, you can make taquitos, you can make chimichangas, you can make anything out of a tortilla. So, and it's amazing because it changes a lot, depends what you make. So I think Mexican food is magical.
Yeah.
It is magical.
I would have to say if the last thing I ever ate in my life would probably be a taco. So
Yeah.
I'm all votes for the taco all day long.
Yes.
Are Mexican mothers better at cooking than American mothers?
Oh. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. I consider myself a very good cook, and my kids love it. There's times when I cook food and my kids text me and they're like, Mom, this is the best thing I have ever put in my mouth. So personally, I am, and I'm very proud that my kids love my food.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You're white. I'm Mexican.
I can promise you right now, if it was between you versus me, you win this battle all day long. I am really good at pouring a bowl of cereal. Okay. Like that's my extent of how my cooking goes.
I think, I cook with my heart.
Yeah.
I cook with my heart.
I think you do everything with your heart.
Yes. And I feel like when you cook with your heart, it's magical. Yeah. And I'm very passionate about cooking because cooking brings a whole family together. Food brings a whole family together. It brings family together. It brings friendships together. You make up with friends or with your husband through food, through everything. So food is healing. Food is like breathing. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like food is very important. And salsa, who doesn't love salsa and chips, right? So I feel like I created not just the brand, not just the hope, not just the dream, but something that you can bring people together.
Yeah.
And I love people, and I love bringing people together, and I feel like it's magical, and I wanted to create some magic from my culture and bring it here to you guys.
Amazing. What a great way to end an awesome episode with the Salsa Queen. So make sure you try it today and let us know what you think.